I feel better. Hickok 45 here. I've been feeling a little bit unsteady, so I wanted to start out with a closer shot. One that I thought I might be able to hit with great concentration. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, I guess what I've got in my hand, an LC9s. Hickok, that doesn't match with the title of the video. That's because I thought I'd start out just shooting the LC9s a couple of shots. You know, it's a firearm I have liked for a long time. It's not always my very favorite. I'll go through spells of carrying this if I'm going pocket carry, J-frame, gosh, Glock 43, Glock 42, what else? Not the PM9 so much anymore. I'm leaving out one here, I think, but it's in my rotation. I want to like it. I do like it quite a bit, actually. I wonder if the trigger is a little bit too light on it. You know, it's really a nice trigger. Almost too nice for a pocket gun or for a carry gun. You know, it's kind of my thinking. But anyway, Ruger's come out with a different version of it, but it's very much the same. EC9s, and that's what the subject is today. Mags loaded, and got some hollow points. Actually, I got some hollow points in mags that have just been there from my carrying this. Okay, so I thought I'd just use those. That's HST, what I carry. And there we go. And then we got 124 grain Federal we're going to shoot. So you can see again, Bud sent me a broken gun. Look at that. It's all in pieces. Now it's just field stripped, the EC9s. So I thought I'd start with it open. You can see it's the same firearm, spring and everything, pin, and almost the same slide. That's the big difference. So let's put it back together. Yeah, it's almost a chapter 2. It's almost, or chapter 3. It's almost the same firearm, isn't it? The LC9s has been, I think, a very successful firearm for Ruger. And it should be. It's a nice one. They finally got it right. You know, the first ones that came out, the LC9, was kind of a bad trigger. You know, it had this long hammer-fired affair that a lot of people had trouble with, especially me, and some didn't. But then they went to the LC9S with that striker fire, and boy, that really has made a difference. Made a difference. This thing's brand new. There we go. And do a little clip up. There we go. So now this has the annoying magazine disconnect, so the trigger won't pull. Do I have an empty magazine? I think I do in this firearm. That's one of the nice things about looking at this firearm today, because I have magazines I have picked up over the years for the other one, and that'll snap. Okay, and of course it does use the same mags. It's essentially the same gun. I think there's a little difference maybe in the finish, maybe on the slide, but I don't know, not really. The biggest difference is the sights. You can tell the sights. I'll get them here together. You know, you got, you know, dovetail and everything on the sights and the 3 dots. Well, on the economy model, the EC9s, they're just milled right into the slide. Okay, when they fashion that slide, they just have these bumps on the top of it, and those are called the sights. Got serrations on them, but they're not horrible. Yeah, I mean, this is really a up close and dirty defensive pistol, both of these, and so it's not that big a deal, really. You might want to paint. You could easily paint the front sight, or you could have a dot, a bead or something inserted, I guess, if you wanted to, and do whatever you want it like that. You can't move them and replace them. Right? And you say, well, why did they do that and mess up the firearm? I guess it was mainly for economy, because they were able to make this gun, this pistol now, for, you know, you see all kinds of reports, $200 less. I don't think it's really $200 less. Any of these that are still around, and I'm not sure they're going to continue making this model, you're seeing those priced at, wow, what, $350 and that kind of thing. This one, the new one, the EC9s, is MSRP, I think $299, which is, you folks in Kentucky, my relatives, that's really, really close to $300. It is. And so, but you're not going to pay that. You can find it, you can see it online or at a gun shop or wherever for like $250 regularly, I think, maybe even $230, $240. So you're talking about a firearm that's really getting down there into, you know what territory, high point territory. You know, made by Ruger. You know, Ruger makes good guns. It's rare we have one that we ever have trouble with, and you know, they're kind of I don't know, they're not low-end guns. They make good guns, but they're designed such that they can make them generally for a very reasonable price and all that kind of thing. And this one especially, I mean, if you can get this for $240 or $250, you know, a Ruger EC9s or EC9s, a proven design pretty much. I don't think there's a lot of problems with this particular firearm. I mean, you have problems with every firearm. Just go online and, you know, somebody's going to be trashing everything. But I think it's been pretty successful. They work pretty well. This one has worked well. I might have had a malfunction with it along the way. I don't really remember. It doesn't stick in my mind if I did. So I've not had enough trouble for it to stick in my mind, let's put it that way. All right. So pretty good trigger too. Pretty good trigger. These little guns like this, if you got a horrible trigger in one, it really messes up my shooting. I don't know about you, but if I've got a smallish gun and a difficult trigger, it really adds to the difficulty of shooting it. Now today, we're hot. Today, the only magazine that comes with it is this. It comes with one magazine. And this is it. I can remember it because of that on the end. So I've had these other mags for a good while. I've had some of them loaded for a long time. I've used some of them a lot. So whatever happens today, I'm not going to blame it on the firearm unless it's with this magazine, I guess, because that's new. It came with the firearm. All right. Although I've been shooting at some and I'm not having trouble with any of those mags yet, except these two. I think I've not shot those because those were loaded. All right. So let's take a couple shots with it. It feels very much like the other one, except I don't have the grip tape wrap around on it, so it feels different in that regard. And the trigger is about like the other one, very, very similar. And those sights are hard to see, I have to say. I would have to do something with that. Yee, doggies. Where did I put those other mags? I didn't stick them in my pocket. Yeah, I did, didn't I? No, I didn't. Okay. Now we've got them. Say, this is the mag that came with it. This one right here that I'm going to put in the firearm. Then I've got this larger mag. Now these hold 7 rounds. This one holds, I believe, 9, okay, with the extension on it. And I have been using it some, and it seems to work. Let's go over here and shoot this target. The EC9s target. See if we can hit somewhere in the white. I did. Oh, I missed the white, hit the blue. Oh, almost hit the red, terrible. There we go, got the white. Let's smoke some pot. All right, in a can. Woo! Yeah, for a little gun, these are not bad. I've always been fairly fond of it. I'm very picky about small firearms. It's hard to find one. Okay, what we got? Yeah, that bullet was pointed downward. I just noticed. I've had this mag I don't know how long. I think it seems to work so far though. We'll see how it does. Bowling. Let's go bowling. Yeah. Let's bowl some more. I might have actually hit the post the way that bowling pin fell. Yeah, let's hit the Kentucky 2-liter. All right, and UT 2-liter. There we go. How about another bowling pin? Yeah. Got me a Cowboys, get another one. Got 2 Cowboys. They're very shootable. These EC9 or LC9, either one, they're very shootable little firearms. If you have one, you know what I mean. You don't struggle. Some of the little guns, because of the size of my hand, partly, if I get a hold of them just right and I can really focus about 150%, I can keep them on target okay and learn to shoot them okay. But I don't find I have to struggle like that with these. I mean, I can just pick them up, and if I have a magazine in it, I can pick it up and hit, kind of what I want to up fairly reasonable, distances. So I think that is one of the, and I make a big deal out of that because it is a big deal. The shootability of guns is a big deal. And little guns, the smaller you get, the more difficult I think it is to have that built into the design, the shootability of it, or the ergonomics, whatever you want to call it. Let's try hollow points in it. Okay. These things have been loaded for a long time. We'll see how they do here. Since we have hollow points, it ought to shoot through that 3/8 inch steel, right? No, it didn't do it. Some people think hollow points are magic. Woo! You notice on that first shot, I just barely caught the edge. That's why it didn't move. It wasn't because it was weak. Or maybe it was weak. I didn't pull the trigger hard enough. Wow, those HSTs, send those plates on around. I tell you, it's got a little punch to them. Just what you want if you need punch. So yeah, again, the sights are the big difference. The way they're milled into the, I start to say receiver, well, into the slide, and they're able to save, you know, a nice little chunk of money by making it that way. So, you know, it just depends on what you want. And I don't know, you all know, if you know for a fact, you know, let us know in the comments that I still see this one. I looked on the website, the LC9s, but it looked like maybe it was only available from who was it, Davidson's or one of the distributors or something. I'm not sure. A little confusing to me whether or not they're still offering it, and they might be. But and there's probably a lot of them around, you know, distributors, at least for a while, even if not, if you just have to have the different sights, you know, on yours. But I don't know. Neat little guns. They're one of the choices that a lot of people make for you know, carry, concealed carry. And we did, I don't think we posted yet, we've done one with, well, we might have time you see this, but in the 380. And you know, so it's a nice little pistol as well, the LC 380, I think it's called. Easy to work the slide if you got weak hands and everything, and even these are not that big a problem. So, and you know, the grips are kind of small relative to the size of the firearm even. So if you have small hands, you should not have a problem with these, either one of them. But I think this is probably where it's going in terms of this firearm. They'll probably, I can't speak for Ruger, eventually just be making the EC9s instead of the LC9s if they're not already. If I'm wrong on that, sorry. Of course, I've never been wrong, have I? Yeah, I have. And somebody, when you're doing unedited videos, sometimes you're not right. And I've never been right in the head. So what else about it? It's a really inexpensive firearm for what it is, and you know, the platform has kind of proven itself. It's reliable. So it's a viable choice, something to look at. These things certainly would be in a gun shop with a good rental range. If you're going to just try out some guns, surely they're going to have an LC9 or an EC9 lying around somewhere. And I would try it out as one possibility. I really would. You might like it. And I think I shouldn't say this because I'm not 100% sure whether it's available with the safety or without it. For me, that's not a big deal if it has a safety like that that's really positive, because I can just leave it off and forget it if I want to, you know. But I'm not likely to, you know, accidentally engage it. But so anyway, you got that on this particular firearm. And again, the trigger, it's a nice one. It's got a lot of take up, which I kind of like, and it's fairly strong spring, which it ought to be, because it's got a fairly light break. Okay, and then get that mag in. See, I've got to have something in there though, or it won't back. So the take up is a little long on these pistols, but it's not horrible, and it doesn't seem to get in the way of actually shooting it. I've never noticed it being a big problem. Okay, so let's shoot it some more. EC9s, make sure it works. So we shot 2 mags of hollow points through it, and so far with those, it's done okay. Maybe we ought to hit the gong with it, okay? Because no firearm should be considered if it cannot get to the gong. All right, I guess I better aim and focus a little bit here. There we go. All right, so it's gong worthy. That's pretty important stuff. Maybe we could even hit a pig. Let's try. I mean, you know, it's a pocket pistol. It ought to be able to hit a pig at 70 yards, 75 yards, whatever that is. Yeah, try another pig. Yeah, feels pretty good. Pretty good. Let's just try some cowboy action here. I had one bullet left for him. All right. I know what let's do. Let's empty one. Let's see. Maybe I didn't load the big one, did I? That's all right. Let's just try it quickly. Let's just imagine, in our wild imagination, that burn barrel is going to attack me. There we go. And we can smoke it up pretty well there. With that longer reset, you do have, you know, a little bit of an issue if you're planning to buy one of these and use it as a machine gun. So you can't get back on that trigger quite as quickly, but again, that's just rapid fire, mostly fooling around. In a practical sense, whenever you're shooting, if you're shooting defensively, of course, you know, you're gonna good hit. You can get those shots off as quick as you want to when you're on target with it. So anyway, it's not something new under the sun, but I thought we'd bring it to you. I requested it from Buds, and you all requested it of us to take a look at it because it is a kind of an economy version of the LC9s and seems to work the same way. The sights are not a big problem for me as long as I can get some maybe white paint on that front one. You could even doctor up the rear one if you wanted to a little bit, I guess, but mainly get something on that front sight you'd probably want. And I don't think you would notice a big difference unless you're going to, going to a bullseye match or something, or you're going to be in an Olympic, shooting event and having to pick off something really small at long distance, which you're probably not going to be doing with this pistol. So just, the old LC9s, the EC9s. The stories out there on these, Google around for these things, you'll find all kinds of information on them and whether people like them or not, whether they don't like them, whether they've been reliable for them, and all those sorts of things about magazines. It's because they've got a history. There's no big secrets about these, and I guess I haven't followed all of that too closely, but I don't really recall seeing a lot of extremely negative stuff about them. Mine has worked fine, and so I guess I've had two of them. I had the original and traded it off or something because I didn't, that trigger I never could get used to. But when they came out with the striker fired version of it, I grew pretty fond of it. So it's not my number one choice right now, but I like it. I'd be fine carrying it because I have for months and months at a time, and I'd have no problem with this one. Like I said, it's just that price is that's really an attractive feature of this firearm, especially where it's a fine firearm. It's a proven firearm, pretty much. So that's pretty cool. If you can get something like this for a couple $150, a used one. If you were to find a used one, maybe under 200 or something, you're getting a nice firearm, for budget price. So anyway. There it is, the EC9s. Thought you might want to take a look at it and at least be aware that it's out there if you're not. So pretty good size firearm, probably would fit most people. Big enough to fit somebody even with larger hands, and small enough, a very, very small grip really, that not many people would be able to grasp that, I think. So any more questions? None? Okay. I'll let you go then, and I'm glad you came out. We appreciate your support. Glad you came by, and we'll probably see you again. Life is good.
Oh hi, didn't see you guys there. I was kind of trapped in my own little world there. So since you guys are here and my amp just fell down anyways and I can't play anymore, I want to let you guys know about our friends over at SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute. You can check them out at sdi.edu. They are a fully accredited online distance learning program where you can be certified in gunsmithing or get an associate's degree in firearms technology. So check them out, sdi.edu. Also, don't forget our friends over at vaultexsafes.com. You've seen their safes on the main shooting table in our main videos, so check them out if you need a pistol safe to lock up your pistols. So don't forget to check them out, vaultexsafe.com. And also you can find us on social media, Hickok 45 Facebook. We have a Patreon page now, so you can find us there. There's links to all this probably in the description. Hickok 45 on Twitter, the real Hickok 45 on Instagram. There's the Hickok 45 and Son YouTube channel. There's my Instagram, which is John_Hickok45, and John Hickok on Facebook, Hickok 45 on Full 30, and also go to our website, hickok45.com. You can find all that kind of stuff on there too, as well as usually in the description of the video. So I appreciate you guys, and I don't know if I can make any more noise. Let's see.